you for appearing today. We're glad you are here. There will be 5 minutes for your presentation. The first bell will give you a 1-minute warning before the end of the 5 minutes. Okay?
Hello? Just making sure. Okay, perfect.
No, it's working fine. And just make sure that microphone is close to the person that's speaking, okay? We will begin timing you when you begin to speak.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Simranjeet Singh. I'm the president of the McMaster Students Union, and this is Elizabeth Wong, the vice president of education. We'll be going over 4 main priorities and 3 main subtopics that we feel are very important, not only for students, but also Hamiltonians. I'd also like to thank the city for its collaboration in the past, specifically regarding bike share, as well as its leadership to improve snow removal around transit stops. With that, Elizabeth, please go ahead regarding affordable housing.
So our first point on affordable housing is around the rental licensing program. So our recommendation is that the City of Hamilton should bolster enrollment into the rental housing licensing pilot program to ensure adherence to this pilot program and to provide safeguards to prevent students from being forced to take on the burden of increased costs. So the pilot program was passed in 2021. The MSU was a huge supporter of this, and we still are. We do have some concerns because we do believe the program should be administered with a cost-neutral administration in mind, as we do have some concerns that these costs are being burdened on students. We do hope that the city would better support this program so that students are not burdened by these costs, and we hope to connect this with our next affordable housing point.
So this point is regarding actual access to housing. So we hope that the City of Hamilton work with the McMaster University, the McMaster Students Union, as well as other community partners to support the development of more affordable housing units, both around Hamilton, but specifically in the near campus housing environment around McMaster University. As you all know, the cost of housing, specifically for renters, has increased precipitously over the last year by more than 13% for single bedroom units. Some students have even reported more than 20% increases. Of course, this is a huge burden on students, and we're hopeful that not only can Hamilton solve the actual quality of housing, but also create more opportunity for housing to be made, specifically through the Planning Act. This is a piece of Ontario legislation. Within it, there's a regulation 232/18 called inclusionary zoning. This defines what's called major transit station areas. They have a 800-meter radius in which there can be preferential creation of affordable housing units. We're hopeful that the city can pursue this across all major transit areas of the LRT, and specifically can look at expanding the 800-meter radius to be larger around McMaster University due to the specific needs of renters in that area. Now we'll move on to the next topic, which is regarding sustainability.
So for sustainability and waste management, our recommendation is that the City of Hamilton should lead a citywide waste management awareness campaign to increase waste diversion to a minimum of 50% in 2023. So there's quite a bit of confusion among students of how they can properly manage their waste, as many students are coming from different municipalities and living on their own for the first time. We do hope to collaborate with the city to create a joint initiative and campaign so that students are more aware of how to properly dispose of their waste and to reduce waste management and to move towards the net zero carbon emission goal that the City of Hamilton set forth in 2019.
Now we'll move on to the last point, which is regarding public spaces and infrastructure. This is mainly the linchpin point that we hope to emphasize because it forms the basis of many of the earlier pieces as well. So the main recommendation is that the City of Hamilton should rezone regions across the entire blast corridor to be more mixed use in nature and also have the opportunity for multi-unit development, so townhomes and apartment infrastructure, as well as embedding community spaces and green spaces. Overall, it has been shown from previous research that having this type of development is better for economic productivity as well as for community well-being. The communities that are designed in this way, they tend to also have transit infrastructure that is higher in quality and more likely to actually be profit-making for the community as well, which will bode well for the long-term sustainability of the City of Hamilton's budget. As you all know as well, there's approximately a $2 billion deficit in terms of the repairs that have to be done to existing Hamilton City infrastructure as well, and ensuring that future infrastructure is designed more appropriately to best serve the needs of communities, as well as being economically feasible, is key for sustainable and prosperous Hamilton moving forward. So that is it for our formal presentation. Thank you so much, and we would love to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much for preparing a presentation as well as speaking today. You did very well. Councillors, are there any questions for our guests? Seeing none, we thank you for... Oh, Councillor Nairn, sorry, I didn't see you.
My apologies, Chair, and I've been trying to indicate in WebEx, or e-scribe and having difficulty. I apologize for that. Thank you, through you, Chair, to the delegates for coming in today. And I just wanted to ask if you have been following some of the unfolding of Bill 23 and the impacts that it relates to vis-a-vis the recommendations you've made to Council.
Certainly. Yep, I can respond to that. So certainly the changes in the bill will take onus away from developers from our understanding to actually invest in communities, and we feel that this is not appropriate long-term to the sustainability of municipalities across the province, not just Hamilton. We're hopeful that with some of the recommendations that we have outlined as well, when in my apologies. When then in collaboration with the province as well as the federal government, there can be steps in place that will better allow development that in the future is more aware of community needs and can be also financially feasible in the long term. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, through you. Just another point there that during the last planning committee, it's not a question so much, but you know, we're facing as a municipality, the province setting a standard for inclusionary zoning that limits a maximum of 5% of units being set aside inside of private developments for a short period of 25 years, not into perpetuity, and the definition of affordable is nowhere near what you're advocating for. So I just wanted to draw those notes, especially since you did delegate on the recommendation of inclusionary zoning. This council is definitely committed to moving forward, but we'll see how things continue to unfold with the province. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Wang, please.
Thank you for coming today, and through you, Chair, just wanted to get another sense. I heard affordable housing, I heard waste management, I also heard a lot of these really big, heady topics, but what are other sort of secondary topics that the McMaster students have potentially identified that maybe didn't make it onto this presentation list?
Mr. Singh?
Certainly. So there are a few items that I would like to highlight. I think one that I'll hone in on is regarding employment. In many ways, we feel that it goes hand in hand with a lot of these elements as well, and that's why we crafted these pieces. We felt that by actually tackling these issues, it can be a foundational way that the City of Hamilton sees how it can solve a myriad of issues by changing, I guess, the groundwork, if you will. So the reason I say employment is because we, of course, being students from McMaster, like many of our fellow graduates as well, we come into an environment where we have a city that in many ways has a lot to offer us, whether it's unique job opportunities, unique avenues to make community, but there's also barriers as well. So for example, inaffordable housing or potential inaccessibility of resources in certain parts of the city as compared to others. So I wanted to highlight that because I feel that there's a huge resource of employable talent that is unable to be retained by the City of Hamilton as a result of some aspects of the current paradigm. And if that can be improved moving forward, it could certainly help McMaster keep that talent and be even more prosperous moving forward.
Councillor?
Sorry, Elizabeth, did you have anything more to say?
Yeah, just like two quick points. I think that when we took upon creating this budget delegation was that we took a more holistic approach, but of course there's many issues that we continue to delegate on, but we also do provincial and federal delegation and lobbying as well. So some of our main areas of focus were affordability and mental health, and I think that they're perfectly summed up within our delegation points. If we're able to get affordable housing, if we're able to improve public spaces and infrastructure, it kind of takes away some of the heat that you feel of mental health. If you live in a good place and you live in a city that loves you back, then you're really going to feel that you're going to want to stay, and your mental health will be greatly improved as well.
Wonderful.
Councillor?
Those are all my questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you again for your presentation today. It was very well done.
Thank you very